So in order to save this planet, I had to trick it.
Killing millions.
To save billions.
At the start of this episode, we got dedicated to a brand new member of the Refundables trading company, FDSDF. I think that's how you pronounce it. Because they were wonderful enough to subscribe to our merchants mailing list.
Yeah, thank you.
So this episode is to you. Hello and welcome to the Refundables. First new episode in a while.
Yeah, we were in a depression well.
Yeah, no Nut November really got us down, you know?
Yeah.
Really hard to focus. But now we're back with more pizzazz than ever. Probably not. My dear co-host Peppy, what game are we reviewing this time?
Pillars of Eternity 2. DOS.
And Pillars of Eternity is a CRPG by Obsidian Games, which I'm sure most of you are familiar with, and if you don't love them, then you can just stop the video right now.
Yeah, if you don't like CRPGs, what are you doing? Go play your weeb games about dating children or whatever you guys do. Fucking anime guys.
This is one of those other crowdfunded games. I believe it was the first crowdfunded game on the Fig platform, which was made by Obsidian and, was it Tim Schafer's Double Fine?
Can I open a bracket here?
Yeah.
Fuck Double Fine.
Yeah, fuck Double Fine.
Fuck you. That's for you, Double Fine. That burp, that's for you. You fucks.
Regardless, it was another crowdfunding campaign which they actually managed to finish, and an actual product came out of it. Now, the 2 at the end of the title might make you think there's a first one. Both of them are, in fact, CRPGs. There's been a few substantial changes.
You could say this is also a CRPG. If you don't get it, it's because you're in the ocean. The whole game. That's the joke.
Well, the first one was in depressing lands full of depressing stuff. The second one is on glorious sandy beached islands. And the only thing depressing there is all the characters.
And slavery and colonialism and all the other fucking social commentaries that want me to be dead. Colonialism bad, slavery bad. Thanks, game. I didn't know these
Yeah,
things.
the defining feature, I guess, that separates it from one is, of course, the ships. Let's go over the story first. So the story is...
I got it written down.
Oh, nice.
I got it written down. You continue your adventure from Pillars of Eternity 1 as a... There's missing letters here, but... leader, I'm gonna guess, of your manor... until your manor was destroyed by a mysterious force.
Yeah, the fucking god that was buried between your castle, and you're like, oh yeah, this is cool. This is a good idea to keep my castle on top of a god. And living god,
dead god,
castle, sure.
No, he was a dead god. It's fine if it's a dead god.
Yeah, he was a dead god, and then he wasn't so dead anymore, and he came out of the ground, and he stepped on your castle, and then he started walking, and you were like, hey, where are you going, you asshole? You took my castle. So you go after him. That's pretty much it, really. So you go across the islands and the seas, chasing down the asshole god that crushed your castle.
Yeah, I don't really... Oh, yeah, he stole, like, part of your soul, right? I think that's the... Like, he stole part of your essence, because he kills everybody that's in the castle, right?
He stole a bunch of your cum while leaving.
Yeah. He drained your manly powers, and... Because you're gonna be a man character, you're not gonna be a woman character. And then you're on the sea, and then you gotta chase him down and get answers, because... we don't want to get too deep into it, but... You're chasing a god to... try and kill him, but you know
you want to find out what he's up to.
Yeah, you want to get your soul back. He's like Shang Tsung at Mortal Kombat. He's like, your soul is mine, and then you get resurrected. Kinda, I guess you're into a magical combo thing. You don't just
want your soul back. You also want to know why he would do such an asshole thing.
Me personally, I don't care if he destroys the world as long as I get to live.
You can pretty much.
Yeah.
So from there, you go from island to island and town to town, you know, and you run into a few familiar characters from the previous game that you can once again get as companions.
Yeah, and a lot of the original cast from game 1. We're not reviewing the first game. The first game is great. A lot of the original characters returned from the first game, and they're fucking great. Especially what's the main boy?
You have Eater.
Yeah, Eater's fucking. He's my boy. If I was gay, I'd fuck Eater. Most of the original cast return. I guess it depends how the game ended for you. The first one. As a centrist, my game ended okay, so it's
Yeah, because
fine.
you can load in the save from the first one to continue your character in the second game. Although you can also just do a quick questionnaire at the start to determine what kind of character, you had or would have had in one.
Yeah, so most of the old boys return, which is great. They're a good addition. But the new characters are fucking... I don't like them. I don't think I liked any of the new characters. And some of them were just plain, like, annoying as shit.
See, I like Zoti.
I guess that Xoti girl was okay. The Hior girl, she's kind of one of the... supposed to be one of the central people. So she's okay.
Yeah, the other characters weren't very interesting. They also didn't really have any story or anything. Zodi and Seraphim were the only ones that actually got given a proper story in the new one, as far as new characters go. Just like the first one, there's so much stuff going on in the world at all times.
I think that's one of the things that annoyed me most. My issue is that the factions make no sense. That there's like a god roaming around and it's destroying shit. Potentially gonna destroy the whole world. And they're just still like, oh, what about the trade agreement? We can't actually put our differences aside. This island is our island. I am the queen of the island, Mon. It's like, nobody cares. We need to kill the god thing. Which faction are you gonna side with? Are you gonna side with the pirates? Are you gonna side with the traders? It's like, what?
Are we not gonna band together to defeat the god, or...
No, you gotta choose one side. It's like, and Obsidian did Fallout New Vegas, right?
Yeah.
That's exactly what it reminded me of. Why is there not like a middle ground?
Oh, here we go again with the centrists.
Also, isn't there like a bunch of content cut out of the game?
There was some content cut.
Yeah, because I remember getting into like near the end game and I'm like, wait, this is really cool. What is this? And then it's just like, no, it's nothing.
Like, I don't know. I enjoyed the story and I enjoyed the world. Like, even if you can get past the fact that none of them can work together, I like the intricacies of the world and how the side quests never feel like a chore because they all have impact on what you're doing in some way. Yes, they're optional side quests, but they still affect the world, which gives you good motivation to see what they do. So I always had a good time just going through the world and digging in all the corners, trying to find what was going on with it.
I enjoyed the game. I enjoyed, like, they have a lot of good systems. They interact well with each other. I enjoyed the skill checks were also great. Reminds me of classic, like, D&D.
Yeah, they added that too, like the random encounters.
Not only the random encounters, but like the straight up skill check.
Like some of them are scripted. For instance, the whole getting on the boat part or getting off the boat. But some of them are not scripted. And there's a lot of random ones as well. And they're fun. Like, hey, your party stumbles upon a log crossing the river, and will they be able to make the roll to get past the log?
Yeah.
But in a very role-play kind of way. And those are always fun. It's a nice flair.
Yeah, it's reminded me of back in the day when I used to play D&D.
It's got good flavor.
Yeah, it's like you're in a dungeon. You walk there. This is like a dampy corridor. Hey guys, roll a d20 for me, says the DM, and you're like, what's this for? He's like, don't worry about it. You're rolling. He's like, okay, you keep going. It's like, And at the end of the session, he's like, yeah, there was a secret door there, but you didn't see it, so sorry. It's like, shit.
Sure, here they tell you what you're missing out on or not missing out on, but they're still they're really nice little scripted flavor things spread throughout the world.
Yeah, there's a lot of flavor, a lot of what the game lacks for me is like I got it written down. Like some focus of what it wants to do. Like the original had some kind of... I couldn't stop playing it because it was so enchanting. But the second game just kind of... I think it's the whole process of getting on the boat, getting supplies, getting a random encounter, like encountering some fucking pirate that's like 5 levels above you, having to like run away or whatever.
Yeah, the boats are really the weak spot of the game.
Yeah, and it's so central to the game is the boats.
Yeah, I find it a shame because I like the aesthetic of the whole, island world. I think it's a really nice aesthetic as far as everything goes, but it's so shame that the implementation of the boats lacks a bit.
Yeah, I like the boats as an idea. There's like a little simulation game of like, oh, turn, fire, like, oh, damage to the sail, damage to the... But like at the middle of the game, like all strategy went out the window. Just ram them and fight them, and I can win the fight because I'm good now.
There's also like nice parts about the shipping, like going to unexplored or unidentified islands, and you explore the island and you get to name it, and you're like, okay, I dub the nigger faggot island.
Yeah, I had All Island, I remember. Just the N-word, nigger island, of course. That's where you get all the Africans from.
Yeah.
But yeah, this was a nice touch, but there's like I think it's the getting on the boat, getting off the boat, you gotta go sell shit.
It's very cumbersome.
Yeah, gotta buy supplies, gotta sell supplies, there's like you put too much shit in the boat. Like the traders are all Jews and the queen is just such a fucking written by some... Can I go off? I'm gonna go off.
You're gonna go off, King.
Such written by some fucking 22-year-old white girl from California. That's like, oh my god, I read about Hawaii and how it was colonized once. Oh my god, we're gonna put it in the game. We're gonna have a queen? Because we're all queens, ladies. It's like, fuck. Makes me want to stab her as soon as I met her. It's not because you're black, you're just an awful written character.
And it's so strange because some of the parts of the game are so well written in characters.
Because different people are writing them. It's pretty clear. It's like...
But you could have some consistency by checking up. You could be like, hey Sally, what are you writing? It's like, oh god, please Sally, just don't do that. Come on, Sally.
Stop taking your history lessons from Rational Wiki and write some serious shit, please.
What I really liked in the whole role-playing aspect that comes back from 1 is that you really can play your character however you want, and there's so many options for your character aside from the ending that you can take. You have so many speech options and so many options for actions. When you arrive at the first big city and the woman in the port is like bitching at you,
yeah, and you're like, okay, you want to see what I can do?
You can flex on her so fucking hard.
You co-op and there's ghosts appear. You just fucking start crying.
Like chanting like a possessed demon on the dock while everything is going fucking wild and the sky turns purple.
Starts chanting and summon dead spirits around you. It's like...
Also at the start, they have the intro where you're trying to get back to the real world, and this woman's like asking you questions about, hey, will you find your manifest destiny? You can also just be like, no thanks, and then like it just goes to credits.
Yeah, just the game ends.
It's like a god is like going, I've summoned you here and I've kept you alive with the part of your soul so you can go and chase the soul. And you can just be like, nah, don't feel like it.
You can literally deny the quest and just die.
Yeah. I'm not sure if you can play it entirely violence-free, but I'm pretty sure you can avoid almost all violence. I didn't actively try to play it violence-free, but I tried to be, a diplomat like the Jew I am. And almost all things I could just talk my way out of and solve them without killing anyone.
You can skip a lot of encounters by just talking. You can literally be their psychiatrist, be like, why do you feel that way?
There's a lot of options to how you tackle the game, just like in D&D.
They did great work at the conversation wheels, and not the wheels, but conversation options.
But I think we can move on to gameplay now. It's real time with pause.
Oh yeah, but everything's timed. Like everything depends on, there's certain timers you can see.
Yeah, but you can basically just pause the combat at any time you want. You just slap that pause button. Like at the start of the game, you're really pausing a lot for almost all fights to like micromanage your team. Because you have like a team of up to 5 characters with you, which you kind of get through the start of the game. Like quite early on, you get to define your party really. It goes pretty fast. There's like a couple of companion options. There's only a few ones with complete backstories. There's 2 new ones with complete backstories. There's 2 alternative ones without backstories, which is a shame. I think they just didn't have the time or whatever to fit those in. But all in all, you have the team of 5, and every character, which I liked from the first one. In the first one, all the companions you encountered only had one class, but in this one, you can pick one of 2 classes that they each can be.
Yeah, that's great. Actually, that's a great addition that you can.
So you can really just basically any of them you can fit into your party, all right. And if you don't like a class, you always have an alternative option. So that I thought that was a nice touch.
You can specialize them like to fit in your party perfectly instead of being like, okay, I guess we got 2 fighters now. So
yeah,
okay, sure.
So you have a team and you go into combat and you can pause at any time. And as I said at the start, you're really micromanaging and pausing a lot for every fight to make sure all your characters are doing the right thing towards the right enemies at the right times and like positioning them. But as the game goes on, you get like kind of used to the flow of the combat. So like the smaller fights, you don't have to pause anymore and you just let them play out in real time and it's fine. And they also made some other big changes from 1, which is in 1, a lot of the abilities would recharge while you rested. And now all the abilities reset during each fight, which means, there's less management between fights, but it does allow you to be more inventive with each and every fight since you always have all your spells in each fight at least once. So I thought that was a nice change.
Yeah, that's a good change, I feel like. Yeah.
I felt it made the combat a lot more engaging compared to 1 and allowed you a lot more variety. And they also introduced multi-class where you can like mix classes together, which is really cool because it does have nice payoffs because you have like bigger spell pools and you can make like really OP combos. But they also level slower and they can't complete the tree for their class. So they can't get like the absolute strongest spell for the class.
I was multi-class and I was Cypher Fighter, I think, my first playthrough. But that was really fun.
I don't know, those are the main changes. There were like tiny other changes, like the AI for the combat is a little bit better if you just let it roll for the fights. You can make time go faster now. You can make the combat go faster. I enjoyed the combat in 1, but I find that the combat in 2 is a lot more flavorful and I think also probably more approachable for people who aren't familiar with the 90s CRPG games. So, Mr. Peppy.
Oh no.
What is your ruling for the game?
It's $30. If it's $30, no, I wouldn't refund it. I think it's a good game. I think some of the story bits are bad, but it did more good than bad. And I think the end game, like the last, what is it, like 5 hours maybe? The last 5 hours of the game don't pull it down enough. So it's not a good, it's a good game. If it's $30, you should buy it. Strong yes.
I'm going to have to agree with you there because I also would not refund it. I could not refund it since I was a backer on Fig.
Oh my god. These are Jewish tricks.
I never played it before it actually got released, but I did back it on Fig. I also backed the first one on Kickstarter. And, well, of course it's an RPG. There's a lot of focus on writing, and not all the writing is up to the same quality as the first one. I think overall, it is plenty a good game, and it is much better than many an RPG out there. And you can get a lot of hours of fun out of it. And if you really are worried, just play through most of it and then forget about it so you don't have to play the ending. Because the rest of the game, the characters, the world, it's all well built. And it'll keep you going for a good time as far as CRPGs go.
Yeah, you're going to sink at least 30 hours into the game, and I think it's a good game.